Some new things for the next try. First of all, I have glued this on with shoe glue. The epoxy, even the low temperature epoxy, was really hard to get off. The shoe glue, it's been on there for overnight and seems pretty strong. I'll try that. The other thing is I made some fixtures. I can hold this on the block, move it up around, and grind facets at 30 degrees. This way, $60 degrees. Another one for 45 degrees. I'm going to grind tomorrow and see if I can do something a little fancier with this small piece. I'm going to try to cut 8 facets on this. I'll start on the corners, take it at a 45 at each corner. As you can see, I'm going to use my fixture. I'm going to start with this right here, hold it tight, and slide it into the blade that way. We'll see how this works. I was pushing down too hard and actually sliding this back. So now pull this saw back a little bit and start it again. So here I have one facet cut, but it looks like in doing that, I've put a crack in the stone here. When I go cut the back though, I may grind it right up to that point and end up cutting this crack out. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can see it's long on one side. I'm going to take that side down a little bit. I have 8 facets here. You can see them rough cut and they're all pretty good. I'm going to put just a little bit larger flat on the top and then I'm done. Ready to start polishing. There's the little stone, and I'm leaving it on the stick. And the stone is so small, I'm thinking it might be difficult to polish if I'm trying to hold that little stone without some kind of assistance. So I'm going to polish that side while it's on the stick. So I'm ready to go. My coffee is perking, and I have, again, chocolate cake with some whipped cream. I find that the chocolate cake can be enhanced with just the slightest little bit of whipped cream. I'm going to start polishing with 150 grit instead of 60 grit. Let's say the blade on the ceramic saw is 60 grit. Everybody? The blade on the ceramic saw is 6. Did you? Never mind. I'm sorry. The reason I'm starting with 150 grit, I'm afraid that the 60 grit with the large particles in it can damage the edges on the stone, and I don't want to do that. So it may take a little longer, but I'm going to start with a little finer paper. So here's the stone. I haven't put the time into polishing it that I should have, because it just, trying to get 8 facets on there, it's just too small to do it without precision equipment. So I'm going to call this the bottom of the stone, and I will try just putting 4 facets on the top. I'm going to use my cutting guides to glue the stick to the other side. You see, this way, in this plane, it's straight, and I can look down on the top and make sure that it's straight in the other plane. And then I will glue it that way. And after the glue sets, I'll use the heat gun to take this stick off. So I have my pieces glued together with shoe glue, and by using my fixtures, they line up in that plane, and then I just eyeball them in this plane, but they can sit this way until they harden, which will be tomorrow. So now I'm going to try to take this off, because I've already ground this side. So I'm going to try to take this side off without getting this one off. So I pulled the rest off of this side by hand, just scraping it off. So, and it's still solid on there for grinding this side. So I would say shoe glue is a go. I'm ready to grind what was the back side, but is now going to be the front side of this piece. I'm using my 45-degree fixture. Put this on here, and as I learned from trying to grind the front, I'm not going to attempt to put 8 facets on a stone that's this small with equipment that is this crude. I'm just going to do 4 facets, and what I will do is do them on each corner. I ground 1 facet on the corner. I don't think it's as far down as I want, but it might be. So I'm going to let it go. I can always come back in and grind more, but I can't come back and grind in less. I'm going to go to the opposite corner now and grind that down. Yeah, bring it up here. When I look at this, I've ground these 2 much more than these 2, so I'll go back in and take some more off of these 2. There, the stone is pretty even. I am ready to start polishing. I have my equipment, the water, my chocolate chip cookie, and coffee is brewing. I'm starting with 150 grit again because of the small size of the piece. And this time, hopefully the facets are large enough that I can feel. Yeah, I can feel when I'm on the flat. I've got a crack in the stone. This is more of an experiment than anything else, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's too bad, though. I'm going in this direction. When the wheel was cutting, it was cutting across this direction. So when the cut marks that were going this way are gone and all the cut marks look like they're going this way, then I'm done with this grit paper. It goes pretty fast because the faces are so small. Well, after 3 bites from my cookie and a little coffee, we'll start on the 220 paper. Probably didn't take more than 2 minutes on the 150 paper. Being as small as this thing is, it doesn't take very long. Another big bite of cookie and some more coffee. And we're going after the 400 grit. I have a piece of 3000 grit here. I'm going to finish it up with that. So I'm done polishing. Now to remove all the shoe goo from the stone. I'm trying more to heat the metal piece rather than the stone and have the heat move up through the metal piece into the shoe goo. Looks like it's starting to soften. Get it off. Yes, can get it off. And the stone isn't all that hot, so it looks like I did pretty well there. I can just scrape the rest of the shoe goo off. So here's the stone. The back where I tried to do 8 facets, you can see there the facets kind of run together. I'm not getting an edge, and that is because when I'm polishing by hand, I can't feel the flat when I'm pushing down on the grit. Here's the other side where I just did 4 facets. And there you can see they're nice and even. Unfortunately, the stone has a lot of flaws. It's cracked there on that side, and there are other cracks in it that may have been in the stone. It may have been because I overheated the stone trying to get 2 different kinds of epoxy off when I was experimenting. But the main thing is that my little fixtures to cut 45-degree angles evenly does seem to work pretty well. This is a kind of a small stone to be trying all of this freehand stuff on.